James Harden used to be so powerful he could change teams like a kid who just bought a bunch of jerseys. I like this one. Nope. I like this one. He was the worst part of letting players have too much power. He wanted to leave Houston and showed up out of shape. Once he got to Brooklyn, he stopped trying to play hard. But this time is different. Harden has suddenly decided he wants out of Philadelphia, but now he doesn't have the power. He asked for this trade. We will finally see him struggle. This isn't about winning games. If Harden wanted to win, he'd stay with Joel Embiid. Last year, they were one game away from making it to the East Finals. He wants to go to the West and face you. No way. This is about money. Harden says the Sixers broke their promise and lied to him. Last summer, he turned down $47 million for 1 year. He signed for less money to help Philadelphia add more players. But the secret deal was that he'd get a huge contract this summer. But Philadelphia would have been crazy to offer that. No one is giving Harden a huge contract after another playoff failure. So they said, "Oh yeah, about that huge contract promise? Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that again." So Harden was angry. How dare they pay him what he's actually worth? But James should have thought about that when he was in Houston before he forced his way out. The Rockets offered him an amazing $50 million a year contract. But when that didn't work out, he's back to worrying about his money. Well, it's too late. James Harden. People have found out about your age and how you play in the playoffs. Philadelphia doesn't want to ruin their own team. So Harden took them off his social media, but nothing happened. He is still a Sixer, and the team manager Daryl Morey said this: if we do look at a trade, it's going to be for one of two things. If we don't get either a very good player or something that we can turn into a very good player, then we're just not going to do it. Oh no. They will do what they did with Ben Simmons. But first, Manscaped has asked me to share a story. This one is embarrassing. I have never ever said this out loud in my life. When I was younger, it was my first time worrying about being well-groomed down there. I was at a water park and I saw an older girl notice that things weren't quite right with my low-cut swimsuit, a little bit messy. The image of her face is burned in my memory. So that night, I went home with a normal hair buzzer and I hurt myself. None of that scary story happens if Manscaped had been invented in the mid-90s. But lucky for you, there is the Performance Package 4.0. It's got a waterproof lawnmower 4.0 with a super sharp ceramic blade to reduce accidents when grooming, thanks to their special skin-safe technology. And now that we can all feel safe wearing low-cut swimsuits without extra hairs peeking out, you can use the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, keeping you cool from sunrise to sunset. Manscaped even throws in their Performance Package 4.02 gifts, the Manscaped Boxer and the Shed Travel Bag. So to get 20% off and free shipping, use the code AMHOOPS20 at manscaped.com. That is 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. And use the code AMHOOPS20. The perfect way to make a real splash with your cannonballs this summer. Remember, Ben demanded a trade, but no one offered a big package. So he just awkwardly went to practice with his cell phone in his pocket during drills. You mean the Clippers aren't going to offer a very good deal for Harden? No, of course they're not. I mean, LA will take Harden, but they're not going to pay a huge price. But The difference between Harden and Ben Simmons, Harden is on the last year of his contract. He has to suit up, play, and play well. He has to show he is still worth a big contract. I mean, if he shows up fat or doesn't try on the court, no one's going to want to pay him next summer. The Sixers have all the power this time, and if Harden is out next year, they've got a ton of money to spend. A lot of people have said they'll have 2 huge contracts, but that's actually not true. They will have enough for 1 max player and 1 very good player to pair with Embiid. Let me show you why. With no Harden, Tobias Harisu, and getting rid of every other player, it's $64 million from Embiid and Maxi's cap hold. So their spending money next year is about $74 million bucks. The price of a huge contract is about $51 million bucks. So that's enough for 1 max player and a $23 million free agent. Free agents next year include Anthony Davis, Kawhi, Paul George, Pascal Siakam, Drew Holiday, OG. They could all be. But there is one other thing. James Harden is forgetting. This would be the craziest move a team has pulled on a star player. The CBA is a rule book for how the NBA works. A forgotten section is on page 317, and it backs James Harden into a corner. It says a player who refuses to play for more than 30 days after the start of his last season on his contract cannot be a veteran free agent and cannot negotiate a contract with any other basketball team until the team he last played for says it's okay. What this means is if Harden holds out, the Sixers could block him from playing basketball ever again. How crazy is that? Why didn't they use that on Ben Simmons? Because Ben wasn't in the last year of his deal. He had 3 seasons left. But Harden is... Philadelphia has so much power. It is insane. Harden has to come crawling back to them. By the way, why do we never see all this drama with like European players? That's why they are becoming the face of the league. We have to go to like weird CBA rules with these dumb trade demands, but guys like Giannis and Nikola Jokic don't do this. It's always American players with the drama. Europeans come up in tough environments playing in places like Bosnia. We used to say toughness about American players. But guys like Harden are changing all that, which brings up another non-American, Joel Embiid. He is the unluckiest superstar alive. Dude gets drafted to a team that's losing on purpose. Waste. A year of his prime with Ben Simmons. Now almost 30 dealing with James Harden. So people freaked out when Embiid said this about his future. I just want a championship, whatever it takes. I don't know what that's going to be, what it is in Philly. It is what it is. I just want to have a chance in Philly or anywhere else. I just want a chance. Who can blame him? Now, he's not demanding a trade there, but one team is waiting for that moment. The New York Knicks have planned for years to trade for a superstar, but they're waiting for the right one. An agent named Leon Rose dumped all of his superstar clients to run the Knicks in 2020. Since then, he has kept all their draft picks, picked up other teams' draft picks, stacked young talent like RJ Barrett, Emanuela Quickley, Quentin Grimes for a big star trade. Donovan Mitchell wanted to go to New York. The Knicks went hard to get him, but they had a limit. The Jazz tried to rip them off for Spider, so the Knicks said no. Reports say discussions on Zach LaVine have taken place, but the price is gigantic. The Wolves want the world for Karl Anthony Towns, but Joel Embiid is worth it. 29 years old, a 30-point per game scorer in back-to-back years, amazing defender, and a perfect fit with Jalen Brunson. That is the key here. It's why we haven't heard a ton of noise on Damian Lillard. He and Brunson would really work together. I mean, if Damian and CJ McCollum didn't work for years on defense, Jalen Brunson ain't gonna work. But Leon Rose is Joel's former agent. They have a great relationship. Joel already has a house in New York. A big-time Philadelphia reporter admitted Embiid to the Knicks absolutely could happen. Now, we'll look at the Knicks trade offer in a second, but who could beat them? The Brooklyn Nets could actually offer as much as 6 first-round picks, but they're not one player away. But the Knicks could offer RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier for salary, and Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Gudimas, and 6 first-round picks for Embiid. They also have 3 pick swaps to offer. So I'm happy to see James Harden backed up into a corner, but I feel bad for another player. We've got a new 16-year-old who's supposed to be the number 1 overall pick years from now, but that has backfired on guys like Imani Bates or Julian Newman. Is the media finally right this time about Cooper Flag? Check it out.